Garrison of Northport Police Department, followed by Gabby's father, Joe Petito. After he speaks, he's not going to take any questions. Chief Garrison will take a few questions, and we'll do the best we can on that. So, Chief Todd Garrison, thank you.
Thank you all for being here. My name is Todd Garrison. I am the Chief of Police of the City of Northport. Today, we're here to talk about Gabby. Gabby was a resident of, or is a resident of Northport, and Northport is a close community where what happens is felt by all. We are here today to provide an update to Gabby Petito, who was reported missing on September 11th, 2001. In June of 2021, Gabby and her fiance embarked on a cross-country trip with plans to travel across the West Coast and visit state national parks in the Western United States. They were traveling in Gabby's 2012 white Ford van, documented their journey on YouTube and social media. We have a picture of the white Ford van that they were traveling in. She maintained regular contact with her family members during her travels. However, that communication abruptly stopped around the end of August. Gabby is a vibrant 22-year-old with a love for life and adventure. She's a daughter, a sister, and a granddaughter. She was excited to do the country trek with others on social media and with her family. Gabby's family and those in the community and in New York who know and care for her are answers about her whereabouts. We have investigators working diligently around the clock, as well as with the FBI. The FBI is present here today to show their solidarity and commitment to this investigation. Grateful for all their resources. Geographic scope of the investigation. It's important that we partner with our federal and local partners. At this time, I'm going to allow Joe, Gabby's dad, a few words.
What I need from everybody here is help, because the goal is still not met, and that goal is to bring Gabby home safe. All right, and I'm asking for help from everyone here, asking for help everyone at home. I'm asking for help from the parents of Brian, and I'm asking for help of the and friends of the Laundrie family as well. There is you can call whatever you can do to make sure my daughter comes home. I'm asking for that. There's nothing else that matters to me. This girl right here, that is it. Anything else, it comes second to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Our focus is to finding Gabby, and we are pleading with people out there to give us information, point us in the direction that we need to be. Let's find Gabby. Gabby and her family deserve that. Right now, I'll go ahead and answer a few questions that I can.
Today you respond where to have you heard from
I have, right now, we're investigating. Not at this time. Right now, it's a missing person case. Well, we share the frustration with the world right now. So, you know, people went on a trip, one person returned, and that return isn't providing us any information.
Unbelievable.
Right now, no.
Have you guys learned anything from the van or from the phone at all?
Right now, we're still analyzing all that data, which takes time to forensically analyze all that.
Is the Bodycam video out of the
We look at everything that's coming in. As far as that having to do anything with the disappearance, we don't know. I mean, yes, they had a disturbance. Yes, it was captured on body camera, their interaction with law enforcement. But beyond that, you know, I don't know what it has to do with the disappearance.
Do you guys know when exactly Brian left and headed for Florida? We know he came here on the 1st, but do you know when he left from the West Coast, and if there was any indication that Gabby was with him on that trek back?
Right now, we're analyzing that data, so we don't have that timeline narrowed down. There's a lot of information that we have to go through.
Do you know where Brian Laundrie is right now?
Yes.
Chief, has the family attorney said anything else during your interaction?
The family arranged to get us some property that we were looking for, and beyond that, no.
Nicole Schmidt said that she last spoke with her daughter on August 30th, or at least someone she was purporting to be her daughter. Has any forensics been done on her phone? Have the phone records been requested? Have they been provided?
Everything is analyzed right now, and it takes time.
Including Nicole's phone?
No, we don't have Nicole's phone.
And have you requested it?
Requested from who? Oh, I'm sorry, from Nicole's phone. I'm sorry. I don't have the answer to that as far as that.
At this point, is Wyoming still the last place that she was known to be?
Right now, it seems to be the area that we're looking at.
What would it take in your investigation to find Martin?
Right now, this is a missing person case, all right? And our focus is to find Gabby. My focus isn't to bring Brian in right now, it's to find Gabby. Brian is exercising his constitutional rights, and I have to respect that. But as of right now, the focus is finding Gabby.
Well, she's been missing for 2 weeks and possibly be in danger. Why does he get the privilege to tell you no, that he's not coming in to speak to you?
Because the Constitution protects that.
Where are search teams looking currently? Law enforcement?
We have no physical search teams on the ground like doing grid search right now. We have resources and law enforcement partners that are out in the field following up tips and leads. But as far as a grid search right now, we're still trying to narrow down geographic areas.
And do we know the exact date and exact, like, confirmed location that she was?
We're still
Because there's
analyzing
been
that.
like, some say Salt Lake City, some say the national park.
You know,
Any-
the information, there's a lot.
God, this must be so frustrating for these officers, man. I mean, obviously for the parents, of course, but I mean, just the pressure on these guys alone is.
No. Not that I know of.
And was Northport Police aware of her mental health issues before the mall report came out?
I'm not aware of any of them.
Are you able to tell us what was on the van? I guess they said you were not.
No, right now, the data, the stuff that we found in the van is being analyzed. I don't know if it has any evidentiary value to it or not. Obviously, van used by the both of them, which personal belongings and stuff are in there, whether or not it has anything to do with it, we don't know.
I know you tweeted at me. It's frustrating is this for you.
I want to bring Gabby home, you know, so of course it's frustrating.
And he answered us, we asked him about your tweet and he said no comment. Your response to that?
Where's Gabby? That's my response.
No, emotionally for you, as a human being, you know, talk about what it's for you.
This isn't about me. This is about Gabby. That's where I want to keep.
No, I know, but you know, just looking at her face, talking with her.
Jesus, dude.
How is this, is that, is this any response from you to?
Well, it's us to keep working. I mean, long hours, it gives us the momentum to keep going forward.
Have any of the social media platforms reached out to your agency investigation and offered up any of the metadata?
We have great cooperation with the social media platforms out there.
How difficult is it as you guys are here, she possibly went missing over there, you know, geographically speaking, how difficult is that for the investigation?
We have partners federally and locally that we can reach out and touch. One of the reasons of asking the assistance of the FBI to come in is they have a long reaching arm. So I'm confident with what we're doing here and the tips and the information funneled out west. I'm confident that system is moving effectively.
Two more questions.
The Petito family said yesterday that what happened in Wyoming happened. It indicates that they know that something did occur in Wyoming and that there's information that we're not aware of or that's not being given to us and maybe being withheld from you. Do
know what happened and what they meant?
The fact of the matter is Gabby is missing. And I think that that's what.
Of course, but
Gabby's
we all,
missing.
this is a huge investigation. You have internet press from all across the country here, and if there's something that's part of the story that's not being told, I think, the public has a duty to understand.
You're something that's not there. I think what the family's position on it was she went missing. Last area was out in Wyoming. So she's not here. So where is she?
So you aren't ruling out, it's really tough to talk about, but they're not ruling out any connection to a possible homicide that happened there as well. Have you guys looked into that? Is there anything you can tell us in?
We have communication going back and forth with Grand County Sheriff. We provided them with whatever information we could. They don't have any suspect information right now, so that to them, but they told us that they're looking at everything at this point.
Kim, one last question.
It's still a missing person case at this point in time, but are you suggesting that a crime may have occurred?
Right now, no. Right now, all we have is the missing person investigation on that.
Really simple question. You said you know where Brian is. Is he at his parents' house?
All I'm gonna say is I know where Brian's at. All right,
Thank
thank you.
Nice try.
You all seem to have-
Nice try, reporter.
Call and we'll answer any follow-up questions. Thank you.
All right, welcome everyone. So that is 9 hours ago, the update for as far as the investigation goes in finding Gabby. I thought I posted a poll in the chat, but I don't see it. Yeah, this is this dude is really getting on my nerves. He really needs to come forward and say something with his hold on. Okay. Well, I can't see the poll, so weird. It's 10% yes and 90% no. Wow. Okay. No, it doesn't mean the poll is right at all. I'm just curious as to what you guys believe right now. I'm curious to know what the general consensus is as far as that goes. Yeah, I'd like to be able to pull it up. It's got to be somewhere at this point. But one of the reasons why I was running late was because Gabby's parents were on Hannity on Fox News, and I gotta say I'm loving her dad right now. He is all business. He is not straying from anything. He's staying completely and totally composed. But he means business, and he wants to know where his daughter is, and he is adamant about making sure that is the focus. Now here, the thing is we've got professionals for that. Of course, I'm going to continue to share her information, but there are professionals charged with the responsibility of finding her, and so right now. I feel that the only thing that I could do to be useful, honestly, besides that, is put the pressure on this douche canoe that refuses to give this family any answers, refuses to cooperate with law enforcement, and he claims that he loves her. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to go over that body cam footage from August 12th. From when there was a call, and just in time too, we've got Boo here. This
What's up?
what's up? So special surprise for you guys. And I'm just off the subject. We're going to get back to Gabby in a second here, but some business that needs to be addressed here is I did another poll, and I created this poll, and I am in the lead because I'm going to destroy Mexi in this weight loss competition. It's going to happen. Look at him. Look at it. Look, you see?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
He's shaking his head. He's already exhausted. You can't beat me, dude. You can't. He's already.
What are you talking about?
Look at him. He's already tired.
What are you talking about? I'm
He's-
not exhausted. I'm not exhausted.
Are you sexing your chair just to prove a point here? What point are you making there, buddy?
No, that was me doing a push-up.
Is that was that a push-up?
Yeah, I'm a push-up on my chair.
Oh, I'm so winning this.
Oh,
it's-
you're so not. You're going down.
I'm so winning this.
Going down.
Um,
I told you, I like being the underdog, man. I like being the underdog, so that's okay. You got the votes right now. Right now, you have the votes, but it's going down.
I mean, that's because my community deals in facts, bro. Okay, this is what we do. We deal in facts, and the fact is,
I got
the fact
paranormal.
is, you can't beat me, bro. You got the paranormal. What are you gonna do?
I got the spiritual. I got the hallelujah.
What are you, what are you gonna do? Diet, and just eat ghosts? Is that what you're gonna do? Just
I'm a fast, and I'm a go ghost hunting at the same time.
dude, and like in even my people, my Discord, I have 2 supporters in my Discord. 2 supporters. The rest are rooting for you.
Those are my
That's-
people.
They're supposed to be my people.
Those are my people.
They're supposed to be my people, but they're not.
This
And-
is gonna be fun. I can't wait to like see everything go down. But I'm telling you, man, I hate to lose. So I know you love working out. I hate working out. You have that advantage. I hate working out, but I hate losing that much more. I hate losing.
That I have the advantage because I like something. That's your excuse. That is the weakest excuse I've heard
you
yet.
like to work out. Like I am allergic to working out. Like if I had a choice between working out and eating some dog shit, I probably would take the dog shit. That's how much I hate working out.
See, nobody likes it until they teach themselves to like it. It's all in the attitude, bro. That's why I've got this in the bag. That's why you are no competition to me at all whatsoever.
No,
I've already won.
My roots. I'm taking it back to my roots, man. You know, I used to in high school, man.
Roots.
I used to train just like no other. I used to do sports. I used to be all state. I used to be MVP. I used to do things. I used to run a 4.40. I used to be able to dunk. I'm gonna get back to those roots, man. I'm gonna get back to those roots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, used to doesn't win competitions, my man. Okay. So
that means I used to have the drive and the motivation. That means I could get back to it. And I hate losing enough that I'm gonna get back to it. And forget the 10 pounds. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I'm saying it right now. I'm gonna lose 20 pounds.
Oh, you're up in the ante. You're up in. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm losing.
If I lose 30, I'll disappear. So I'm sticking to my 20. All right.
I'll
so
22. We need to be slim thick. We need to get the slim thick.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
Slim thick.
Dude.
Hold on. Let me.
I mean, I'm all about exercising my Second Amendment rights. Okay, which is the right to bear arms.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Does that mean you got tickets? You got tickets?
Okay.
You're stupid.
All right.
Okay,
let's
we've gone completely off track. Corny as can be.
Oh, look at this. Yo, Mrs. Mexi. Mrs. Mexi, listen.
Here's my baby.
I know
that
you're the key to me winning, Mrs. Mexi.
Baby,
you're the key to me winning. Because you're just going to keep stuffing food in this dude's face. You're going to keep stuffing Latin food in this dude's face. Because
Vegas is
every woman I've ever been with has been Hispanic, dude. I know
She tries to
what you
push
guys
me.
are like. You're too nurturing.
She tries to push me. She tries to push me to go working out. I just absolutely hate it. It's funny. She says hot girl summer. We always joke around about that. We're like, okay, because we're always like, okay, let's get to working out and stuff. So we've been talking about working out for a long time. So this is just like cherry on the top for me. I'm like, all right, my wife and me we're gonna go, we're gonna eat, we're gonna do things, and I already told her that you challenged me, and I'm like, it's down, the gauntlet's down now. And tonight is my last night of eating nachos.
And for the record, cherry is always on top. All right, let's stay on task here. Give me your thoughts on this Gabby Petito situation here.
God, man, this is messed up. You know what's even funny is because my wife has even been looking it up. She's been sending me like stuff about this. She's like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of nuts, kind of crazy. It's crazy in a sense, like it's just like what you were talking about yesterday. Like, how do you just drive that many miles across, not say a word, come bring the van back? You know what I mean? Like, you get to that point where like, and then you don't say nothing to anybody. You don't say nothing to the family. You just come back. Like, to me, that is such a douchebag move.
Dude, this case right now, the coverage that it's getting nationally, like this is bigger than Watts right now.
Crazy
so
right now.
It's crazy right now. So there's a lot of pressure on big old Bry, and I mean that sarcastically. Like, what are your thoughts on Brian?
God, we were joking about it behind the scenes, like you guys know, but I'm like, that kidding, not kidding. Like, these are literally like one of those guys that you just see do something so douchebaggy. You just like, I was telling you, I want to throw him a blanket party where you throw the blanket over somebody and just beat the ever living crap out of them. Like, that's literally like one of those guys.
I never get like this with people in these cases. I never get the way that I feel about this guy. It never happens. Like, usually I'm like, hey, innocent till proven guilty, calm down, don't jump to conclusions. Listen, I don't know what happened. But I do know that there's something super sus about a dude who says he loves his girlfriend and she's already afraid. Reportedly, she's afraid that he was going to leave her there. And then he comes back alone and she's not answering any texts. She's not answering any calls. The mom was just on Hannity. Mrs. Schmidt, she was just on Hannity on Fox News, and she was saying that the August 30th text message was not her. She does not believe was her. Now, I'm hoping at some point that's going to get posted because it was on just before I went live. So
I just saw that just before you went live too. I was looking at it. I was actually reading that to my wife at the dinner table. We were talking about it, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I kind of agree with her. I think a mother would know, in the demeanor at the text. I know it's a text. It's hard to make it out, but you can usually tell, like, if someone different is sending something that's like not, you know what I mean? Like, something normally that you guys would talk about, you can tell that even though it's in a text form, you can still get the gist of it. Be like, that's weird. That doesn't seem like something that you could say. So I believe her mom. I have no reason not to believe her mom in that. And that makes
well, I
sense.
mean, yeah. And it's just obvious because there's, he's refusing to cooperate with law enforcement and he's refusing to talk to their family. I mean, this dude is the epitome of coward. Like, I don't even, like, if I had him in front of me, I don't even think I could close fist hit him. It'd be like, you know what I mean? I'm not hitting a man, I'd have to open slap him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, because technically he's a dude, so it's okay to hit him. but he's not a man, dude. You know what I'm saying? So just open slap him. Yo, where is Gabby?
I think that's what pisses me off so much about like this one, and like what immediately sucked me in is just the fact that, like, something happened, man. Like, even like you just come back, you take the van and stuff, you say nothing, you don't say a word to anybody, and obviously he's hiding behind the attorneys, telling him to shut up, shut your mouth, and don't say nothing, which is well within his constitutional rights. However, just being a person like of some kind of standards, like I could not go forward with that and just like hush my mouth if I knew like something happened or whatever, even if I was guilty of the crime or whatever. I mean, like the parents are like right here. Like, look, just tell us what freaking happened. Just tell us what happened. You know something happened. You know something happened. You don't just disappear, go all that way, and then become quiet and lawyer up just for no reason. Like it doesn't. It makes no sense. Why would you do that?
And I think Gabby's mom was saying that when she got the text, I could be wrong, I could have misheard, but when she got the text, she knows that Brian was home. So
Yeah.
yes, and Caleb always with the great insight. Person who murders is not a person of principle at all. I agree.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now one more tough question. Where are you at as far as do you believe that she's still alive?
That's tough, man. I hope and I pray that she is. I really hope and I pray that she is. But the way that things are looking, just the way that things are looking, I honestly, my gut instinct goes with that. No, she's not. She's still
Yeah,
not.
I'm exactly there with you. Like I hope, I absolutely hope, but I do not. I mean, there's just nothing to indicate that she is. I mean, 1 minute she's answering texts, the next minute dude comes all the way home and without her, and there's no sign of her at all. There's no communication with her at all. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go over, and I haven't watched this yet, so this is going to be a reaction type thing for me here too. So we're going to watch that body cam footage from the argument that took place between them on the 12th of August.
E-commerce business, you have to check out Aribi. It's the analytics tool that took our
And I'm sorry about the volume. It's as loud as it goes.
Driver is showing some obscure driving, possibly intoxicated.
Now, remember in the report, they
Currently
swerved
doing
to the right
45
and then
miles an
hit
hour.
the curb.
Zone for years, 25. Yeah. Oh, subject says to hit the curb. Correction, speed limit is 15. I'm about 3/4 of a mile into the arches just before the gate.
Now he's documenting everything verbally, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
Whatever you can't see with the body cam, he's verbalizing it.
Wish they do that all the time.
Want to place your vehicle in the park and go ahead and turn it off for me? No,
Gabby's clearly hysterical and crying right now.
Turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me. All right. What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian. Gabby, Brian. Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm just sorry. We've just been fighting this morning. Some personal.
It was a long day. We were here camping yesterday, and camping got the stuff, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Oh, no, you're fine.
Does anybody feel like this cop has just already got a bad vibe about the whole situation?
I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay?
Yeah.
How much more, baby?
I would if I was him.
She's so pretty too, man. What a shame.
SO2T9. I have the female.
Young.
In the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, "I'm sorry that I'm so mean because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I can get really frustrated. I'm not like mean towards him. I just I guess my vibe is like I for the idea of me like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
I'm curious if she's actually diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, or is she one of those people who just says OCD because she's, you know, like people who are like, oh my God, my socks need to match, I'm OCD. You know what I mean? I wonder about that.
Question. I haven't heard anything yet.
What's that, Mexi?
I was just saying I haven't heard anything one way or the other in definitive. So.
Right, me either.
Sorry, but I just quit my job. Okay. I was a nutritionist. That was my job. Cool. And I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. I have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know. He's like down there. I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because
you're
OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time. And he really stresses me out. And I just...
Okay, so one thing that I have to point out here is she just says he wouldn't let me in the car until I calmed down. Why is it his place to do that? It's her van. So why is he locking her out of the car and telling her, hey, you can come back in the car if you calm down? See, that right there is a red flag that she's not the aggressor, in my personal opinion. Now, she's stating that she's the aggressor, but she's definitely not coming off like she's the aggressor. And that little fact right there about him keeping her out of the car, that detail indicates to me that she's also not the aggressor.
Yeah. And that's, you actually see that typical of like somebody who's, you know, been abused or mistreated or whatever you want to call it. But you'll see that where they often like take the blame, they reflect it off and be like, no, this is me. This is my fault. This is me. This is my fault. So that, to me, it already looks like, you know, kind of like a typical behavior of somebody who's had already, you know, domestic violence issues that, you know, is kind of reflecting that she's like bouncing off like, no, it's not his. It was me. I was you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very typical. And what I can't stop thinking about is the dad, right? So, I mean, can you imagine what now in the interview earlier, he said that he did not watch the whole thing. And when they asked him why he didn't watch the entire thing, this body cam footage, his answer was, it doesn't help me find my daughter any faster. He's like that's just me. He's not, and he made it a point to say there's nothing wrong with watching. It's just for me, I don't need to see that. You know, that's what he kept saying. And we
were talking about that, about him being like a no nonsense. Like that's what it reminds me of, the dude that's like no nonsense. Like just cut out the BS. Like all I want is you to find my daughter. I don't give a shit. Like what else?
I love it. I love how he's handling this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so awesome of him.
I love that they're all over the news. They're getting as much exposure on this as much as possible. They're doing everything they can to get their daughter found. So, you know, and then you got this guy, man, doing what he's doing, and it makes my blood boil every time I think about it. Like I literally get hot when I think about it.
Yeah.
This is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
All right, I'm about to get real pissed off because what's about to happen, which I didn't even consider, what's about to happen is this officer is about to go check out Brian and assess where he's coming from. And I know he's just going to lay a bunch of BS and it's going to make me mad. So I'm verbalizing me mentally preparing myself for this right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty. like I said, you're not in any trouble. So just go ahead and take a seat. Watch your feet. What's that? Yeah, I just spoke to her. So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle. Alrighty.
Interesting. So right now he's scared because that's the first. Did you just talk to my fiance? He's asking, did you just talk to her? Like, because he's actually the only reason that I would imagine that that would be the question coming out of his mouth is because he's afraid of what she's going to say to them. So
that's exactly what, like, it sounds like he's like, well, what did she, kind of thinking like, what did she say?
Yeah.
Come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So, like, I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything. So I give her time. And we really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before this stuff like that.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had her cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute. She was getting worked up, and then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys to her. So I got away. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And we see she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here.
Oh, that's from a wire.
That's from a wire?
Yeah.
You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over, and then she grabbed the wheel.
What about the speed?
Now, there's something wrong with that statement because she claims that she slapped his arm. She says that she slapped his arm, and that's why they hit the curb. Now he's claiming that she grabbed the wheel. So somebody's lying.
Yeah, definitely. It's either one or the other.
Take over the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of, like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. But it's good. I'm really sorry about that.
God, I can't stand this dude.
You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry.
You don't have anything in my pocket or anything like that, do you?
Nope.
Just the wallet? All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check your waistband? I got turn around for me real quick. Perfect.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat. All right. Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car. Do you want to come with me?
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
You come with me. I'll give it to you.
Oh, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian.
Brian. Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N. Yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
L-A-U-N.
D-R-I-E.
D-R-I-E?
Yep.
Laundry? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your date of birth, Brian?
I'm guessing this is just redacted and that's why it went silent.
Applesauce. Can I just sit in the shade because I'm bald? It's okay. I'll give you some shade. Sound good?
All right. Just hang tight for me. SO229. I need a 29 name and date of birth. First name Brian, layman spellings, last name Laundry. Lima Alpha Uniform, November, Delta, Romeo, India.
And these cops probably they probably don't see much, you know?
Let's be honest, I didn't
Where'd you hit him? You slapped him first? It's on his face? How many times did you slap?
Bravo, Romeo, India, Alpha, November.
Now, this
And then what? His reaction was to do what?
He's going to be out of Florida.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying he hit him. I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth. If he actually hit you. Because, you know, where did he hit you? Don't worry. Be honest.
okay, if
You slapped your face or what?
okay, so what she's saying here is that he grabbed her face. It's what it sounds like she's saying, that he grabbed her face, which would make sense to me as to why she would scratch his face.
Retaliation. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, or defense. You know, like let go of me. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So has he been drinking?
No, we don't drink.
Okay. What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb.
I
While you're driving?
I love this cop. What he's doing right now, you see his hand? He's blocking the glare from the camera so you can clearly see her. So this cop is pretty adamant, which would explain the thorough report that was written. Like Chris Watts's arrest affidavit was way more vague than that. You know what I mean? And that's an arrest affidavit. This was just a report on a call, and I went over that report last night, and it was very, very detailed and well written. So this officer seems very, very adamant about documentation, which I love.
While he was driving, you were hitting him? Did you already tell him all this?
I didn't get that far into
Okay,
it. She
so-
was hyperventilating
She's
a little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
You don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, and then when he turned to realize that, I kind of punched his arm like this. Just an idiot.
she's saying why he hit the curb. You said it was Gabby? I'm sorry, I'm really bad. It was Gabby?
Yeah.
Try to meditate and stuff. But you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
Yeah, but it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
I mean, if it gets to that point, it's already toxic, you know, but when you're that age, you don't really know any better. I mean, I was in nothing but toxic relationships at that age.
I've taken my anxiety and bringing it down, but my ex-wife, I'm just sharing, I know it's a little personal, but to help you understand, we would feed off each other's anxiety and spiral. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much I love you.
Yeah.
It may be bad for your soul. Just saying. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time, and then it usually. We'll go
This cop is really empathetic.
I think you've heard everything now from.
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
Aha.
Only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel and like
No.
swerve or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Interesting.
I'm going to go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find something.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Hey, Claire, can you pause right there?
You wouldn't happen to have any water, would you? Oh, yeah. Can I get a bottle?
What'd you say, Maxie?
I was just saying if you could pause it right there. So I think that's interesting too. Like you know, he's saying that and she's like, no, I didn't grab it. You know, it makes me wonder if he's one of those dudes that's kind of like threatening, like, you know, I'll crash his car right now. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit where you swerve it, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
he's a total feel sorry for myself little bitch boy. I can tell. Like I could just smell it on him. You know what I mean? Like you know. So you know, I'll crash us. I'll run us right into this mountain right here. I don't care. Blah blah blah.
I don't care.
You
I'll
know.
kill us both right now. Yeah.
Did you already give a statement for this officer? I've got this gentleman here. Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks on your neck. Yeah. And she's got some marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know you probably already told your story. This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case. You want to listen to what he has to say, and and then you tell him what happened. So we don't mind.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in Beyond Land for the past week or so, traveling around, and the flies here are pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think that our little squabble started because you're hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back,
flies. That's your excuse? That everybody's stressed out because of the flies? Like you're taking a road trip and visiting national, but your whole point is to be in nature. What are you talking about, dude? This guy's, oh man, just I want to open slap him. I'm telling you. Like my hand would fit right around his fucking neck, like just right.
And I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Do you need any water?
That's okay.
It's hot out here.
We were going to get water because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's alright. I don't like plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there. And the disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I would say, no, it's okay. Thank you so much.
It's cool. That's good.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to say.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that.
What the hell does that have to do with anything, dude? This guy's sitting there and he's trying to play it down. It wasn't even a disagreement, dude. You got marks on you. She's got marks on her. What are you trying to hide?
It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So I guess there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure you
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things. Right?
Yeah, I can go.
And we weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and like walk away for a minute. I'll lock the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way on the block. You know, there's that what's it called, moonflower? Right. Yeah, nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breathe. Come back. Just breathe. Yeah, we're happy with it. But I'm not upset with her. She got worked up and she had a phone in her hand and her keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have my phone. So she goes off without me. I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk. And she was trying to get the keys for me. So I was just going, just wait back up. And that's when she hit me. And I didn't get, I don't want to push you, but I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud. And that's probably drew everyone's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a...
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches?
Let me address this comment. Right. She had OCD. The chances of her being on high-powered drugs for the OCD are more than extremely high. Thus, the basket case behavior we see here, he lost it with her. In the report, if I remember correctly, they claim that she's not on any medication for her anxiety. So I'm assuming that just means any medication at all. So she's probably not on any medication. And a lot of people claim to have anxiety, and it could be she could just be saying that she has anxiety to kind of it helps with her story. You know what I mean? This is the reason why I'm shaking and why I'm panicky, is because of my anxiety. Instead of saying, well, I'm scared that this guy's gonna like do something to me.
And at that moment too, she doesn't really look like the typical behavior of somebody who's on, heavily medicated or some kind of drugs. You know what I mean?
And also something that is noteworthy in my opinion is the fact that she seems calmer sitting in the back of the police car. She seems like almost as if she feels safe.
Yeah, my wife was making a good point too, though, Blair. She was talking about it behind the scenes because she's here with me, but she was talking about how she's like, you would never grab my face out of aggression and stuff like that. That's somebody who's aggressive and abusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that shows kind of his demeanor and how he reacts to it. So somebody who's willing to like just grab a chick's face and, kind of like get all up in there and stuff. That's a very aggressive trait to have. More than likely, more abuse hides behind that. She's like, and it's true. Like I would never do that. I'm not one of those guys that's like aggressive like that, chicks. But I've seen guys that are like that, and that's exactly how they are. A lot of them you'll see do that same exact thing, grabbing the face of a chick, and you just know behind the scenes. You're like, oh my god, I know behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's something seriously. Yeah, there's all kinds of issues going on there. Yeah, absolutely.
On your eye. The phone. So you push her and she hit you?
It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already, she was already swinging, and I was a lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah, you got 3 scratches in your neck. You got one.
He's sitting here playing victim, this guy.
You got one in your face here, and you got 4 that are bleeding over there. So just try to flip up 2 hands. Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
Okay. It's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about
Is it bruised or tender or anything like
that?
that?
No. Okay. I'm fine, and I love that.
I love this cop, man. I love this cop because he's like he wants to get to the bottom of this. He smells this guy's dirty, dude. He knows because he wants to see. He's like, wait a minute. He told me that she grabbed the wheel. She's adamant about saying, no, I did not grab the wheel. And she's like, I barely hit his arm, right? And then he just confirmed that there's a scratch on his arm. So he wants to see who's telling the truth, and he just got to the truth. So he already knows this dude is completely lying.
Yeah, full of crap.
Doesn't have too many complaints.
What's that?
Oh, I just said, yeah, he's full of crap.
Yeah, totally.
Me, I'm just, I feel bad. I have to get so public. I was just trying to be loud. So listen. I try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching. And like, stop this.
Just hang tight for me.
Yeah, Ray, that's a good point. So Ray's saying he could have finally went too far this time around. If he's used to putting his hands on her, he could have went too far. Right. Like if he's the type to grab and he's that angry and he grabs her face, I mean, I can kind of see him grabbing her throat and possibly that going too far. She's tiny also. Could be that he did something and it just like Ray is saying here, it went too far, didn't know his own strength. She's so small. And this guy wouldn't know his own strength because he doesn't work out and because he's a total tool and a douche. So
You know what?
I don't imagine that he lifts anything and wouldn't know what his strength is.
You know what else too, though? A lot of times, like what you're saying, like he's like, oh, maybe this went too far this time and stuff like that. Have you ever noticed that, like, dudes that'll do that too? Once they do that, it's almost like they broke a seal. It's almost like they've broken a seal and they know they can get away with it. And so they take it a step further the next time and a step further the next time. And I wonder if it got too out of control and too out of hand where he thought, it's okay, now I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Because you see that happen so often where guys will get to that point where they do something and they go too far and they're like, well, she took it this time. Now I'm going to take it the next step, the next time, and see what happens.
Or they had a bad fight and he hit her to the point to where he left marks on her in some way, shape, or form, or bruises, and realized that he can't explain it.
Yeah,
and
like
I'm screwed. I'm going to go to jail for domestic violence or whatever. But I'm out in the middle of nowhere. If she just disappears, well then, we're obviously speculating. We have no idea what's going on, but I mean, what we do know is that this dude is clearly super shady based on what we're seeing here and what we know now about him. Well, this is not a good moral person.
I got a quick question for you, Ryan. Do you take any medications or anything like that?
I don't know why there's no sound there.
You don't take any medications or anything like that? Are you normally this kind of like hyper?
Do I see my heart rate up whenever the lights flash on? It gets your heart rate up. Do I see my?
Trust me, it does me too, and I'm the one that it gets me going a little.
You probably
bit
can say, "Hey, buddy," whenever somebody walks up.
So okay.
Can't stand that this dude is smiling.
Yeah, do you know if she takes any?
She's crazy. No, I don't think so. No, none that I know of.
All right.
Cops are smart, man, because they're trying to get him talking, and they're trying to make him feel comfortable. Like, yeah, we're just guys, and chicks are nuts, man. And they're not saying that. They're just really making him feel as comfortable as possible to get him to say that. He just said she's crazy. He just went, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Real fast, can I get your first name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, how do you spell that?
G-A-B-R-I-L-L.
And your last name? B-E-T?
P as in Peter.
Oh, P.
And E-T-I-T.
I see. Oh.
Does anybody else get the vibe that she just feels safe now?
You guys both live in Florida, right? Or that's where you guys come from?
My license is Florida right now, but I'm from Florida.
But that's where you have it out of currently. That's okay. 29. I need a 29 by name of date of birth. First name Gabrielle, Golf, Alpha, Bravo, Romeo, India, Echo, Lima, Echo. Last name Petito, Papa, Echo, Tango, India, Charlie, Oscar.
This is a real B&H customer story. Jack and Barbara, professional wildlife photographers and B&H customers for
Okay, so now there's a female officer on the scene, which is good. I wonder if they requested a female officer to come on the scene.
We're just kind of hanging tight for a minute. Where does he live? Georgia?
Florida. Florida, yeah, was our last place. Still get down there.
How long is it on the strip?
So you continue on the 5. What was the determinants? What was the thing that was moving to a new place?
We're going to Portland. So her grandmother's best friend lives in Portland. We stayed with. 2 years ago, we did a fun shots movie trip, which we loved. We did in Nissan Sentra, like a tiny little car. So I was like, let's do it better. Let's get a big van. Not a big, it's a tiny van for me all too. But I said, let's try and do it a little better. And it's been great so far, for sure. But yeah, we're going over to Portland, and I don't know if you're probably more familiar with it, but woofing. Have you ever heard of that? WWOOFING.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
I'm from California originally.
Oh, yeah.
So, and part of my job, I dealt with employees that were from all across the United States.
I can't stand this guy. Look at him. Look at him just leaning up against the van. Just, oh yeah. You know, trying to win the cops over is what he's doing. And he thinks he's slick. And what's funny is I think the cops are absolutely onto him, but they just don't have any reason to place anybody under arrest right now. And the sad part is that had they placed him under arrest, it could have possibly saved her life, but they had no reason to arrest him. They did their jobs, what it seems like, and we're only, I mean, you know, they're interacting with them for over an hour here. We're only 20 minutes into this video, and it's an hour and I think 17 minutes. How long is this? An hour and 17 minutes long. So this is crazy to me. He's just trying to win them over.
States in Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, everything you can think of on your level list. I know most of them.
Now the funny thing is I don't think if we didn't know what we know now, this is easily fully.
That's our goal once we get over to Washington. You know, we'll do that from Washington, then down to Oregon, and down to California. So I'm close to that. What part of California is that? I'm from.
Okay, let me make a point here real quick. Let me address something here. So your logical question is, nice disclaimer there, by the way, Stargazer. Why did she stay with him all this time? When things like this happen, there is most always a history of previous occurrences. They are both guilty of not leaving each other. Okay, you are skating dangerously close to victim blaming in my chat, and I'm going to warn you once and only once that is not tolerated here. So just be careful how you word things. We don't do that here.
You're going to be going through this?
We'll get good in the way afterwards.
Good. But no, it wasn't too bad at all.
Oh, I just called one of those 2 witnesses, and I recorded it. You want me to tell you what he said? Yeah, real quick. Do you mind hanging with him for a bit? Yeah. So, get away from both of them. So, he said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk, so that she was trying to get in. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. He says, I don't understand why she's doing that. Well, I think it's because it was the only door that wasn't locked that she could get through. She's trying to get in over him. He's trying to disengage from her. I guess he hung her backpack on the back probably so she'd have her shit. So that he didn't.
Let me just deal with Stargazer here just for a second here. I want to address this comment real quick. So Stargazer, just before that, was saying, well, why didn't she just leave? Well, here you are. You're saying you have been there in an 18-year marriage. Why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just leave? You're the one who got personal in my chat. Don't get mad at me for bringing it out and calling you out. So the fact of the matter is, she's only 22 years old. Why didn't you just leave? Why did you stay in an 18-year abusive marriage? So don't go blaming victims in my chat if you can't do any better.
Have to engage with her. Everything she's saying is Same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her, as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in an instance of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do a citation if it meets one of three criterion, which one of them is that we can ensure that they're not going to further risk each other's safety. But the problem with that is they live in the same vehicle.
That's what I was going to say. The other part of it is
there was actually an injury too to the victim, which is him.
Right, and I'm getting conflicting stories about why they hit the curb up here.
What did he say why he hit the curb?
Well, I watched, this is what I saw first. Saw him cross the double yellow. I was doing 42 miles an hour. I was, probably 2 car lengths behind him, tapping my whales at him, trying to get his attention. They knew I was behind him. And then after he crossed the double yellow, he merged over into the right lane, and then out of nowhere, just boom, hit the curb.
So did he tell you why?
He said that she grabbed the wheel and turned it real hard. She said that she was hitting him in the arm. So
sounds legit. I mean, I'm sure if I'm driving and my arm's on the wheel and I'm getting hit in the arm, I'm probably pulling out the wheel.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was a little of both, and usually the truth is somewhere in between. He's probably trying not to say that he hit her because he probably doesn't want her charged with assault, domestic assault. He probably would rather say she pulled the wheel than hit.
That's actually a good point.
You know what I mean? So, fortunately for her, we cannot treat, just because he's bigger and stronger, and even if he's not willing to press charges, we can't treat this differently than if it was a male on female violence.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to charge her. And we can do a citation if there's some arrangement that can be made to separate them. And then we have to let them know that there's no contact order in effect. Yeah. And we have to let him know the only way to drop is to go into the police department during business hours and fill out a waiver, which, by the way, what's today? Thursday? So it won't be till tomorrow. I know they're till noon, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's going to want to drop it.
Well, the other part of it is they said that they've been on 4 or 5 months that they've been living out of this van together.
Well, this is really bad news. So let's talk to him first. Is this Brian?
Yeah.
Did you ask him yet to take pictures of him? Yeah?
No, I haven't done any of that yet.
Brian, unfortunately, in the state of Utah, we don't have discretion.
Have a seat for a minute, Stargazer, and breathe. Okay? Have a seat.
On some things, like, for example, if I pull you over for speeding and I want to give you a warning, I can do that because it's under Class A, it's a Class B or under. If I want to give you warnings, all kinds of stuff I can, but there's a few things I can't. Like when I say I, police, I'm not in charge of it. One of the things that the state legislature doesn't give us discretion on is charges when it comes to domestic assault. And it sounds like you guys are living together, so you meet the statutes for domestic partners. And you do have injury, and both an independent witness, probably the next one we're going to talk to as well, which we haven't talked to yet, but the one we did talk to, and your own companion have made it clear that she was the primary aggressor and that she was striking you and you just received injuries. You haven't admitted to striking her. She has not admitted to striking her. The witness did not see you strike her. So at this point, you're the victim of a domestic assault. That even if you didn't want to pursue this, we don't have a choice. The best thing we can do to not, the law says we have to charge her. It doesn't say we have to put her in jail. Okay, but it also says we have to separate through a no contact order, and we have to put her in jail if we cannot separate. And there's no problem here. You guys want to Florida living in the van together. How are we supposed to separate her guys? Now, I don't want to take this small 20-minute issue.
Can you all appreciate the irony here right now? Acknowledge the irony here that these officers are basically, they're saying based on what they're seeing, based on the evidence that they have, they can take her to jail for domestic abuse. Whether he wants to press charges or not, that's their policy. They have to do it, right? Now, if the worst possible scenario took place and Gabby is no longer with us, having her placed under arrest, more than likely wrongfully, probably would have saved her life.
Yeah, and that's tough. You got to think of it from their standpoint too. That's tough because you know that they're young and they're probably thinking these things in their head. They're probably like, these kids are young. Maybe they're just, you know, in that little bit of the toxic relationship, but not enough so to. It's tough. It's tough to try to gauge one or the other because, you know, if you take them to jail, you know that's on their record and stuff. So I think they're trying to be empathetic to it, and probably to her too, because they're like, well, it's a chicken. You know what I mean? Like if they're saying that she's the aggressor, they're probably like, well, it's not like, you know.
I don't think that they.
Bad.
I don't think that they believe that she's the aggressor.
I hope not.
I don't think that they believe it.
That's why I don't think that they're taking her in.
Exactly.
Like I can see several things already throughout this video. My personal opinion is this dude looks like, to me, I'll give you a quick story as quick as I can. When I was like in my early 20s, I had got wasted and, you know, had my brother and friends, whatever, in the car. And I was trying to schmooze the cop because we had pulled over in a parking lot and people throwing up all over the place. And I was sitting there trying to schmooze the cop to get out of anything I could to make sure that, you know, he either didn't breathalyze me or try to do whatever. To me, it looks like that same type of thing. Like when I was schmoozing the cop, trying to get on their good side, is the same way that it looks like, and to me, that he's trying to schmooze the cops and trying to be like, oh, you know, well,
I agree.
Trying to look like the good guy. That's my personal opinion. That's one of the things that I can see through.
Oh, dude, yeah, like I'm the king of schmoozing cops. Like, like I was always getting stopped by cops to do for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I've told a story on this channel before of how I remember I had I was coming home from the bar. It was like 4 a.m, and I had a bag. I had like a half a gram of cocaine in my sock. And as soon as I saw the light behind me, I swallowed it. But I was so dry mouthed that it wouldn't go all the way down. At any given moment, the wrong syllable, I would have coughed this baggie right on the cop's badge. And the cop let me go, you know, and I had been drinking. And my tag was in the wrong place. My license was suspended. He had every reason to take me to jail. And he was just like, you got a cell phone? And this was like right when like cell phones had just become for everybody, you know, Metro PCS had just become a thing. So I had that little Kyocera thing, right? And these cops, and this cop was like, if you got a cell phone, you better hope somebody answers when you call them, or else I'm taking you to jail. Because the only way you're getting out of here is either in handcuffs, or if a friend picks you up, or a loved one picks you up and takes you home. And I asked for one. I called one guy because all my friends were just as unreliable as I was, except him. He actually woke up and came out and got me. It was incredible. But yeah, I was kissing this dude. I was just kissing his ass. Crazy.
Yep. We know. So you know too. You've been there. Yeah. And by the way, I'm going to make a citizen's arrest on you now. And just want to let you know that hopefully it's past the statute of legal limitations. Just kidding. Statute of limitations. Hopefully that doesn't apply because I'm taking you in.
Cherry K's already got me in the handcuffs, so we're good.
You could definitely defend yourself against, but at the same time, we can't say because you're a male and she's a female, we can't treat this different than if you were the male hitting her. We got treated the same. So she's kind of in a tough spot.
Alrighty, folks. So you may have noticed.
So that's interesting. He's playing a mind game with him. He's testing him. You getting the vibe that he's testing him?
I don't have an idea about how she could not go to jail and be separated. Do you have friends in town? Somewhere she could stay? Tomorrow, if you want to, it's up to you. You can go to jail? You can't because we don't have a charge for you. Now, tomorrow, if you wanted to, you would get with her again tomorrow.
Take your radio.
If you want to be with her again tomorrow,
God, this guy smiling and laughing is pissing me off.
you can go to the police department and fill out a waiver to drop the no contact order so you guys can still be together. But she's going to have a court date online. So she's going to have to show up for a court date online and answer. The prosecutor might drop it. They might say, for example, if you're not willing to pursue it, that's your decision.
I was going to say, it definitely is. I'm not going to pursue anything. She's my fiance. I love her. She looks awful. I'm sorry that I had to get so public.
So why is he laughing? This is what I want to know. Why is he laughing instead of going, wait. There's got to be a way, guys. There's got to be a way that you don't take her to jail. He's actually just laughing at the idea. And then he's like, well, yeah, I'm not going to pursue anything. That's fine. Whatever. But he's not in any way begging. Like, if it was my girlfriend, I'd be like, come on, guys. I mean, look at her. You know, does she look like somebody who belongs in jail? Don't take her to fucking jail. Come on, man. You know?
Because that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
He's trying to get her locked up.
He's painting a portrait as if he's the victim.
The victim.
And,
right.
Yeah, and let me buddy you, police officer. And yeah, he's laying it on thick. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's super laying it on thick. Look at you guys hear Mexi right now? You guys hear Mexi working towards that weight loss right now? You hear him chewing? I win. I'm already winning, dude.
Dinner. Don't judge me.
So I just want to get like the checklist of things I got to do to get rid of it. So there's
you
an
don't
online
back.
court date.
Well, she'll get a paper with a court date.
How do I get rid of it?
Well, the court date has to be attended.
God, this guy sucks.
They need to continue to drop it. First, it's just an initial appearance to say, are you who we think you are? Yes. First, do you understand the charges been brought against you? Yes or no? Yes or no, the answer. Do you have an attorney? Yes or no, do you need one? And then from there, she can ask to speak.
Busted!
The prosecutor might be contacting you. Say, hey man, I want you 110 pounds soaking wet, and you're a big strong guy, and you understand you're not.
Baby, how could you?
Your own wife just ratted you out in my chat, dude.
How
It's
could you,
beautiful.
baby? You were sitting here eating it. I was building you up as if you were my body.
Let me highlight that again.
Right in the sun.
Let me. Oh my God, I'm loving this. All right.
Cops have to follow the statute. How, where, in the interest of you, of justice for you, the victim, and they can decide to still prosecute it, or they can decide to drop it, or they can decide to give her a plea and make it kind of go away and she behaves somehow. But that still does not eliminate the first court appearance that she has to attend, which thankfully for you guys is going to be online. So you don't have to. So if you're out of town, here's the thing: if you're out of town and she doesn't come into a court appearance online, they can suspend her driver's license, they can issue a warrant for her. So she needs to play ball.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And we're a team. Me and her are a team. I'm sorry about all this. I apologize again. But so she's got her online court date. She's acknowledged that she's hurt, and then she's got the one for the.
He's already talking like she's going to jail.
There's something called a no contact order in place.
Yeah,
From this point forward until tomorrow, if you wish to drop it, you have to go to the 217 East Center Street, Mon City Police Department. And you have to ask them to give it to you. You want to fill out a waiver that you're requesting a waiving of the contact order, no contact. No contact order means she cannot come into contact with you, she cannot talk to you, she cannot text you, she cannot go onto any premises you're occupying, she cannot go to your people. And until you drop that, or until a court date, if you don't drop it, it's stay in effect until midnight on the day of court. And then that gives you time to get a protective order, a long-term one, if you feel like you need one. But it sounds like you don't even want this one. So tomorrow, they open at 8, you can go into the police department, you can fill out the waiver, they can remove it, and you can say, hey babe, where you at? Let me pick you up. And you can pick her up. Now, we're hoping not to put her in jail, but if she doesn't have somewhere to go tonight, to be separate from you, then
I can't talk to her now because it's separation, right?
So tell me this. Do you guys have enough money for like a hotel room or anything like that? Because what we could do is we'd cite her for this, and then I'd give her a ride over to whatever hotel you guys is choosing.
Pick up her tomorrow if you
And
want
you-
up to know what they'll
On your way to go pick her up, you stop over there at the PD, sign the paperwork that they're requesting, and then you can go pick her up quite literally within minutes.
Unless you know someone.
Yeah, I get that, Stargazer. let's see. Can anybody understand that I'm trying to help any other women out there in domestic violence situations? I'm being read the wrong way here, and I feel insulted, especially when I'm trying to help. Fair enough. And nobody's trying to insult you, but I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I get that what you're doing is trying to come from a good place, but you kind of suck at it, you know? And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying you're just making everybody mad. So instead of feeling like everyone is attacking you, maybe reevaluate the way you word things, to, you know what I mean? Maybe take a little accountability and take a little self-reflection and ask yourself if you're doing something or wording something in a way that everybody is judging you. So that's all I'm saying, you know. Like, just try to be more empathetic towards people when you talk about this stuff, because it sure sounds a lot like victim blaming, and we don't like that here.
Anyone else in town that's a friend that you can stay with? Yeah.
You know, unfortunately not. I don't. I guess that.
Man, I sure hate to. I don't want her to go to jail.
Well, if she goes to jail, it's like that goes down somewhere instead of her going to a hotel. Right? If you get a citation,
So if she goes to jail, they're gonna book her. And they'll take her fingerprints and go on a criminal history. And then if they don't convict her, then it will just show that it was dismissed. It'll show up in a criminal history, but the charge was dismissed. If she was found guilty, it'll show up that she was guilty of dismissed. But the charge itself will show up on her criminal history until she gets the expunged. Now, even if we give her a ticket, we're still going to take a fingerprint and it's still going to show up. Either way, it's going to show up. There's no way around a Class A. Or is this Class B?
This is Class B.
But they do require a fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The other part is if you contact her or she contacts you, she could be charged with a Class A.
Well,
which is a little bit different, but it doesn't encompass it.
if you were to contact her and she responds to you, then she could get a new charge for violating the contact. No contact order doesn't restrict you, it restricts her. So if you go talk to her and we find out and you're not in trouble, she'll be in trouble. So you're interested. That all makes sense?
no, I'm getting it all.
It's a lot, really quickly.
No,
I
yeah, I'm
understand.
getting it all. I'm just trying to figure out a way through it.
You don't know anyone in town? You guys been around long?
No, I don't know anyone in town. If she went,
I don't think CPN will take her to see the aggressor.
No.
There's a women's shelter.
I'm curious.
You can find out. Say, so
if you did the citation, like say she drove
Thanks,
off
Dee
and
Marie.
drive off
That means a lot. Thank you.
Give you a ride somewhere.
I got my backpack.
Sucks for you.
I got my backpack. You can spend the night. You want to drive me to Delicate Art?
Does she have a
This
good-
guy's killing me, dude. Like, somebody in chat was like, okay, well, he's not trying to get her arrested. He may not be trying to get her arrested, but he's damn sure not trying to get her out of getting arrested. He's not doing anything to try to keep her from getting arrested. You know, like, dude, I remember I remember I was with this girl, and you know, when I got, you know, when these idiots decided to pull up my entire past, there's a police report, and it was this same girl, and she had a problem with drinking and driving, and on a separate incident, we get pulled over while she's driving, and she is just she was the most verbally abusive person I've ever been with, and she was just going off on me, telling me how I'm not even a man and blah blah blah, and I'm just sitting there like with my head against the window, just like, fuck, this sucks, you know. and then these lights, and I knew she was wasted drunk, and these lights come on behind the car, and immediately I'm like, aha, that's what you get. Ha, see, that's what you get, you know? And I was laughing and I was pointing at her going, ha ha, that's what you get. But when they actually put her in handcuffs, I still got out of the car and was like, hey, come on, like, my place is right there. Do you really have to take her to jail? Because they literally pulled her over about 100 feet from the entrance to my apartment complex. So I was like, look, just do you have to take her to jail? You know what I mean? Like, and they were like, yeah, she failed a breathalyzer. She's going to jail. There's nothing we can do about it. It just is what it is. But I still like, and I knew that, and I still was trying to get her, even though I was like, I was in the process of being verbally abused by this person. I was still like, hey, can you please just let it slide just this one time, please? This guy's not doing anything of the sort. He's totally just letting her get thrown under the bus. And he's just like, I'm trying to think. And what he's trying to think about is how he's going to end up okay. Because he knows that's not his van. He can't keep the van.
Yeah, he's like, how am I going to get home?
Pretty much. Yeah, this guy sucks, dude.
Driver's license?
She's gonna get you this driver's license, yeah.
So she would do vehicle?
Yeah, she can.
Well, then you'd kind of be homeless for the night.
And man, I can't talk to her at all. Well, and I've got to do the thing, so I can't go camping.
We can tell her what it is that she needs to do to get through all this, and then let her know what the plan is.
Here's the problem, though. If we take you up to Delicate Arch, you're going to be hoofing it from Delicate Arch all the way down to Moab Center Street so that you can fill out that paperwork, because if you're not there by noon tomorrow, you're going to be looking at Monday morning.
It's early on Friday.
Yeah. You'd be looking at Monday morning before you could actually see her again.
Again, we're not trying to make your life hard. This is written statute. There's nothing about it. It's designed to protect victims of domestic assault. Not everybody's the same. This is different than normal, but we have to treat everything the same. I mean, that's how it is.
You can't afford a hotel.
No?
Very little money you have for sure.
You want me to? I'll call Sea Cave in.
See if Sea Cave will take you for the night.
I'll see if they'll take either one of them, because then we can figure it out.
This is the way we take me. Oh. Actually, Sea Cave will take him as a victim of domestic assault. Sea Cave will take him, and they'll help you tomorrow.
And you're like a block and a half away from the PTA.
Let's see if Sea Cave will take him, because they actually put up. Actually, they didn't take a guy, but they got a hotel for a guy last time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sea Cave might get you a hotel. Now, what she does,
I'm happy sleeping outside in a sleeping bag.
No,
I don't need
we don't want that.
I'm just saying, I think Sea Cave will get you a hotel. If you want her to have a van, we don't care. It's up to you. But
yes, this is Officer Robbins with Moab City Police Department. How you doing this afternoon? Oh, not too bad, not too bad. So I just did a domestic, and the male is going to be our victim. Is there any way that you can help us set him up with a place to stay tonight? Okay. $10.99. Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you. Bye. All right. So the after-hours guy isn't there at their office right now. He's going to run from his house over there, and we're going to get you all lined up. Don't worry about it. This is the phone call that they wait on. So don't feel like you are making anybody do anything extra. So,
Dude, I know this guy listens to terrible music, dude. I know he does.
No, I really, really appreciate it.
And I know how rough this stuff can be. Like I said, I've been married for 5.5 years. Believe me, if I were to say that me and my wife haven't had our share of spouts, I'd be lying to you. She lives with anxiety. I live with a woman.
No, both of us are really.
I know. Her anxiety elevates my anxiety, and sometimes it
That's why I'm like, I gotta walk away. I gotta breathe. And look in the back cars even then. But
I'm not going to try to sit
this
here
guy
and give you
sucks, dude.
my advice. You've been on this road almost as long as what I have. There's nothing I can tell you that's going to really make a difference. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry that this has happened. I'm sorry that it went to this extent.
No. I'm sorry. Can I get my key and make like a little bag? Maybe you can drive me somewhere?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Would you mind watching it for me? Yeah, just if you don't mind doing it from over here, we don't want you to get hit in the road.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so for the people defending this guy in my chat, because of the the video or whatever. Yeah, I get all that, but you're forgetting what we already know about this dude. You're forgetting the fact that this guy came back alone without her, and he's refusing to cooperate with law enforcement at all. His parents are backing him up. He lawyers up. Why do you lawyer up? And I mean, the parents are all over Fox News. This is not some regular YouTube true crime case anymore. This is getting national attention from everyone. Like, people where I live are talking about this, which they never talk about these cases. But they're talking about this one. So,
yeah, and my thing too with that, the glare is, here's what I think too. Like, you don't drive all that way, obviously, without her and come back. If you were innocent, let's just say for the sake that he left her wherever, right? So he left her. Okay, well, big deal. Like, if you left her because she was acting crazy and out of control and getting aggressive and things, that'd be one thing. But if you came back and you were like, look, I had to leave her at this place because she was acting out of control, I had to come back. Do you sit there and you shut your mouth and then you grab a lawyer?
No.
That's not something typical. So the people that are over here like defending this dude,
yeah,
really?
I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you like, I have to call that idiotic. I just have to call it what it is, because it's just plain. It's beyond ignorant to sit here and defend this guy and be like, oh, well, you know, maybe it's just a misunderstanding and he's afraid. No, that's what his attorney's saying. Now, why didn't his attorney, when his attorney made a statement to the press, why didn't his attorney say straight up, like, oh, you know, my client is 100% innocent?
Mm-hmm. Something to that, even
Nothing.
something to insinuate that he has innocence. And usually you'll see that they'll be like, you know, my client is innocent of this, so we'll show you. Just, you know, we had to do this for, you know, whatever reason. But the fact is that you don't do that. You don't just
no reassurance that she's fine, that she's okay. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Right. So I mean, it's just
panic. Everybody's in a panic trying to find her, including her parents. He hushes up, attorneys up, disappears. Like, that's not something that an innocent person does. There has to be obviously something that this dude is, what do you want to call it, compensating for, or whatever you want to call it. He is lawyering up for a freaking reason. It's not, you don't just drive all that way. If he had just left her there, it would be a simple conversation. It would be, come back and say, hey, you know, some stuff went down. Even if it got physical, it'd be like, some stuff went down. I had to leave her ass at the thing. She was acting cray. She was going all nuts, ballistic on me. I had to leave the crazy chick there because she was acting out of control.
You would at least tell her parents that.
Yeah,
you would at least tell her parents that.
And you'd say, you know what? I'm sorry. I left her there. I had to. I couldn't do anything about it. She was acting out of control. I don't know what happened to her after that point. That's what an innocent person does. If something happened like that to what he came back and is, oh, well, you know,
he's
say
doing
that.
Exactly what a guilty person does who's trying to get away with it. That's what he's doing. Like, I mean, if I was guilty of a crime, like, I can't say that I wouldn't do the same thing necessarily. Now, if in this situation, I'd like to think that I would at least want to give the parents some closure, take accountability, do whatever I got to do. But I understand working the law to work in your favor. Like, I understand what he's doing, but nothing about what he's doing is telling me that he's innocent of anything. All it's doing is telling me that he may get away with whatever happened. That's all it's doing. So, you know, I mean, like, guilty or innocent, I mean, the first thing I'm doing is lawyering up. That's the first thing I'm doing. That's for sure. Because I always look at people, like, I always look at these persons of interest in these cases and always go, why is this person so stupid? Why don't they just lawyer the fuck up? You know what I mean? That's just dumb. Just get a lawyer and shut up. Right? You know, but at the same time, I'm always glad that they didn't, you know, because, you know, thank goodness that this person is that stupid. But this guy's not stupid, and his folks are not stupid. but the problem is I mean, can you imagine? I mean, and it's stupid on their part. Like, why wouldn't you encourage your son to take responsibility? Why wouldn't you encourage your son to take accountability and cooperate, and then just deal with whatever happens, and we'll do the best we can. We got you a lawyer, so we'll just manage this however we have to, you know. But this family deserves to know where their daughter is. You know, why aren't they telling their son to do this? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Scott Rice tell you himself, just always, yeah, lawyer, 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 of course. Okay. Thank you, Cherry. Good job. Appreciate you. So, I mean, yeah, that's just real quick. I have to announce the departure of Stargazer has taken place at 11:56 p.m. Eastern. Stargazer has departed from the airport of Fleur. So thank you for announcing your departure. Get ready for pickup. Okay, commercial.
I don't have anyone saying he actually punched you aggressively. It sounds like it was shoving in a manner that was probably more consistent with trying to prevent you from entering the van or to get his face from you, not to slap the face. So, if the tables were turned and he was beating on you and you were shoving him, of course we're going to look at it like, oh, of course he's defending himself to get away from this guy. We're kind of looking at the same way with him. We have to take both very bigger.
Yo, is Josh in here? What's up, dude?
The law doesn't say.
Hold on, let me highlight my man's comment real quick. It's my boy right there. So Dad Challenge Podcast says Brian holds the key. He knows her last known location, and they could create a search based on that. And if he didn't do it, he will be responsible no matter what. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Officer Pratt, Officer Robbins, you can treat people different based on gender under the sense you can. Even if it makes no sense, you probably could not physically destroy this man.
This is Officer Robbins. Hey, how's it going? That's fine. I'm still going to be here for a few minutes dealing with this, so we have almost as much time as you need. So his name's going to be Brian, B-R-I-A-N. Last name Laundry is L-A-U-N-D-R-I-E.
Yeah, I'm Katie Joy now. I love it.
And Laundry?
Dude, there's nothing anybody in my chat is going to tell me that's going to justify this dude's behavior. Sitting here talking about never talk. Nah, dude. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, this girl has a family that's missing her. And if you're innocent, speak up.
So they were at Moonflower, the organic grocery store down the street from you guys, and they got into a heated argument. Both of them were saying it was over petty stuff. He told her to take a walk so that she could cool off. She refused, broke into the car after he walked her out of it. She started trying to slap and scratch him. He pushed her away. They both got in the vehicle, took off, and I found him out here next to him. No.
I've heard some allusions regarding the cell phone. I think
Charging her with domestic assault.
if I understand correctly, I could be wrong. That law enforcement has made arrangements with Brian's family to get a hold of certain devices, if I remember correctly, and I'm guessing that they're talking about the phone. So, and I'm sure he's probably going to clean the phone. Oh, I had to restart it to factory settings. You know, this. I mean, just expect this. I mean, if he's not cooperating and he's not saying anything, then I mean, what they're going to do is they're going to execute warrants. They're going to get warrants, and they're going to get them. There's no way that a judge is not going to like approve a warrant for this dude's electronics and anything that he might have. And I believe that they already have the van.
So there's going to be a protection order set in place between the two of them until he's able to get over to the PD tomorrow, because he doesn't want to pursue it, but I don't have a choice in this, as I'm sure you are well aware. So he's going to be wanting to go over to the PD first thing tomorrow morning as they open up to get the protective order removed. But that doesn't fix tonight. Yeah. We're both hopeful. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Yes, they both have Florida licenses.
Yeah, Josh, I agree with you. I mean, he's probably cleaned evidence like right. And that's why I think that he had her phone or has her phone or whatever, present or past tense, had her phone because because of that. The Instagram was shut down and then back up again.
Suspect in this, would you be able to put her up for the night? Okay. I figured.
Josh, I think he has her phone because I'm not saying that he does. I'm thinking because there's been allusions made by law enforcement about arrangements being made to get certain devices, as well as the fact that her Instagram was shut down temporarily and then came back up. So why get rid of the Instagram?
Awesome. And if it's easier for you to just send me a text with a location, that works just as fine too. Alrighty, sounds like fun. Thank you. What did you say your name was again? Pete or Philip? Phil. Okay. Alrighty, Phil. Talk to you later. Bye.
I don't know about that, Josh. I don't know about that, dude. I'm thinking that he's yeah. I'm thinking that he's probably not.
Hey, Brian.
I mean, I hope he does.
Your time real quick back here?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely protests are going to happen.
So, because there was an assault that took place and you were obviously showing signs of the stripes, do you mind if I take pictures of the injuries that you sustained? I know it's not super severe. I mean, you want me to call? I mean, I can call the EMS if you want me to. You don't seem like you want to go that far. If you want to take a photo, you can take a photo. Yeah, I need to take pictures for my evidence because otherwise it's going to be your say, let's say, my say, and the court's going, oh. So I have to do this part of it, alrighty? So it's just going to be.
And now that I think about it, the report is not that thorough because we're only halfway through. There's a lot going on here that's not in that report. Like I didn't say anything about that they were going to that they were initially going to charge her and that they were going to and that they were taking pictures of his injuries or anything like that.
Microphone, do you know where it is? Yeah, without telephone, where is it?
Just hang it. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell me if you don't mind me grabbing them.
I can grab it because it's in a spot.
Why not go with you? Where are we going in the car?
Right face, neck. One of his ring fingers, I think, has got scratched. And then you saw earlier.
Yeah, I saw the ones. Well, I was trying to build some consistency between stories. Oh, sure. Alright. And then let me see your hand, because that. Yeah, let me get your hand in front of that one. Is that okay? That works.
Hi, I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hey, it's the Huff.
Pluto TV, you get hundreds of channels for free. Out of
Looking
this
good, buddy.
world. I'll see you on Pluto TV. Head to your device's app store to get Pluto TV today
Wow.
because Pluto TV is free.
He looks like a soccer mom.
Could have been a. I know you said this is from a wire, but I'm going to take a picture of it just in case I'll document that you're saying that's from a wire, not from her. It's just I want to document everything. You know? And then your right arm.
Cherry, that's a good point, but you remember that Baby Joe Clyde's case happened in Tennessee. This is Utah. We don't know what the laws are like there. Remember in the Joe Clyde Daniels case, Cherry, if you remember correctly, he you can actually be convicted under circumstantial evidence. I don't know if that's the case in Utah. And I don't know if that's the case in Florida or whatever the jurisdiction, because I mean, they were traveling. So where's the jurisdiction exactly? Right. I mean, where did this take place? Where did whatever they're planning on charging him with, where did the incident actually take place? And if they can't pinpoint that, how are they going to charge him?
This way? I don't know. And this is just for precaution. Do you mind lifting your shirt for me? We can go back here if you want some privacy. I want to, like I said, I want to do a very thorough job. I want to make sure that you don't have any additional injuries.
I can't stand this dude. Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Rachel Hudson, because the FBI is involved. So I'm guessing it would be a federal case. I'm guessing. So whatever I just said, it doesn't apply. If it's a federal case, then it's a federal case. It doesn't matter. So if it's going to be a federal case, then yeah, he can absolutely be charged. Jesus, really, Josh? 310,000 acres.
So I talked to my contact over there at CP. The people that can help with hotel rooms and stuff like that are out of the office. I'm just playing phone tag with a couple of people trying to get it all lined up because certain people have access to the corporate card. He doesn't. So we're trying to get everything lined up. This is going to take us a few minutes to get that lined up, get her cited and stuff like that. Like I said, we're going to be handing her a piece of paper that has some of its dates, stuff like that, and she'll be able to give you all that information once you've got that. Okay? So, you want to hang tight? Well, yeah. You want to go ahead and finish getting your stuff? With this
Oh, that's my plan, Josh. I'm gonna drag this dude for as long as it takes. His granola eating, yoga posing, little shit self. I'm gonna drag his ass until he breaks. I wish I had more subscribers just for that reason. Totally, dude. Totally. And understand another thing, guys. I'm sure the only reason why 10 to Life has not covered this is because she just had a baby. So, you know, big congratulations to her on that. But I guarantee you, as soon as she's up and running, she's going to be covering this as well. I'm sure she's all over this.
Right. Right.
Now they don't normally talk about their investigation methods when there's an open investigation. And now they have named Brian here as a person of interest, but the focus is still that Gabby is just missing. So the focus is to try to locate Gabby right now.
She went to smack him.
But I'm sure that if they're searching that van, I'm sure they got dogs on there, everything. Totally. Yeah, totally, Josh. Absolutely. We need those people on this.
Well, he's got a swollen right eye, scratches. So we gotta go find it. Was it intent and attempt, or intent or attempt? So if I attempt to get basketball, right. You go ask her what her intention is. She says, right. The only way you know her intent to do is by asking her. Right.
Anybody has the power to become famous by doing something destructive.
Mr. Scully, do you think you've done anything wrong? I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Wow. Douche.
Gabby, this is a very, very important question. How you answer this question is going to determine what happens next. But the only person who can answer this question is you. Think very hard before you answer the question. Do not quickly answer it. Think very hard. When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do? What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff?
Come on, Jinxie.
What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me something.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him.
It's clear that they don't want to take her to jail. It's clear that they don't want to cite her with this. They don't believe They don't believe this guy's a victim.
She openly admitted to me earlier that she was striking him in the arm. Or he said that she was striking him in the arm. He said she was, and that's what caused him to hit the curb. She said that she got hurt. I might have these two mixed up, probably.
No, she said that too, but she started distracting him.
Yeah, because she thinks she's going to jail.
And then he probably looked at her, and that's why the body
Dang.
found.
Jinx.
When he said, she said it was her fault because she was distracted by him. But she said she didn't try to hurt him, it wasn't malicious. She thought that he wasn't listening to her.
So assault is an attempt with unlawful force or violence to do bodily injury to another. The code for bodily injury, the definition says, bodily injury is infliction of pain or physical impairment or illness. So you can go. Now I'm recording, and society and the judges and everyone can judge me for this. I am looking at a 110-pound female and her fiance who have no means to be separated. He doesn't want to pursue it. She's not a threat to him, more than slight abrasions.
I like this guy.
I don't care if we use the actual letter of the law to not charge, but I also don't care because it literally does possibly make perfect sense to go full-on domestic assault and do the whole thing. This is your opportunity to make the decision.
Yeah, so now this cop basically feels like if I arrest this 110-pound girl for domestic assault, I'm going to be the laughing stock of the entire force. Like, this guy doesn't want to, he's saying, I'll take it. He's saying, I'll take it. I'll take whatever I got coming, but I don't want to take this girl to jail, man. Like, this is a BS charge. And I don't know. I mean, they're redacting all of this, so I don't even know what they're saying here.
Go ahead. You got this?
I'm making this decision. I'm going to side him. I'm going to go all here the first.
Would you feel more comfortable handling that guy?
Yeah.
Go handle that guy.
Go handle that guy. Okay.
If you're more comfortable.
Well, it's 6 one way, half dozen the other.
It's up to you.
I mean, it's a headache whether I go left or it's a headache whether I go right.
Another option is to not charge them but separate them for the night. If they find themselves together again, what is it to you? You separate them. You provide it.
Right.
If he doesn't have enough sense to stay away and you got him separated, it's on him.
Joanna S., I do not know when he got the lawyer.
You can separate him and say, don't let us go off till tomorrow.
I got to point that out.
Hear about it? We'll hear about it.
I got to point that out. So Island Girl saying, Faith Fit Fun is saying, do I think the murders of the other couple is linked? I don't know. But I gotta give props. I mean, even though he doesn't like me very much, but I gotta give props to Gray Hughes, man, because Gray Hughes put that together. He was the one. I don't care what anybody says. Gray Hughes deserves all the credit for linking both of those crimes or both of these scenarios together. He absolutely put that together. And it's simply because he actually investigates and he covers more than one case at a time. So, and I think it's very interesting. And I think right now, this is one of those cases where social media is actually going to be helpful in solving this. Whoa. Do you know that for a fact, Josh? Wow. Is that real? I think it was before. Wow. Unbelievable. Yes, sir. Shit. Let me do it through Twitter because I don't have an iMac. I don't have a MacBook here. So, hold on. So I upgraded to fast. Literally, like there's a commercial on it. It's called like X-Fi, and it's like in the commercial you see this dude streaming like with like 4 monitors, and I'm still dealing with this. Like I have upgraded to that. Like it makes no sense. And I'm plugged directly into the router right now. So yeah. All right, hold on. Messages. All right.
What are you trying to look for on your supersonic internet?
No, I'm sending. Well, if I can, if it lets me do it. Oh, here we go. Okay, Josh, I sent you the link to the Twitter. Your Twitter. So I'm gonna let. I think he was asking me for a link. So.
Camping in the park tonight, we'll let you know.
And if there's some fighting going on, you already was Mr. Nice Guy. You already gave him a chance. What you can't do by law is separate someone and say, if we hear from you again, we're going to investigate you. Because then if one of them really needs help, they may not call police and get help. The law says you cannot, literally, you may not say, we get more problems with you guys tonight. One of you is going to, you can't threaten like that. Right. It's true because it stops you from wanting to call the police to get help. Does that make sense?
Right.
So go full or nothing or in between and separate them and kind of give them the nod, the wink, like, hey, just stay separate. It's up to you. I'm going to go handle that. You got very capable help with you here, and I trust you.
So
Maybe.
I do need some things.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead.
This is me.
Uh-oh.
I know this man has hair.
You said that this is still your mailing address, right? Still the right way. Alright, and then Ryan, what is your phone number?
Thank you guys for helping us. Oh, yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
My phone number?
Oh, yeah, no problem. Have a good day.
Josh, that challenge podcast is in the house. Welcome, buddy.
What's up, Josh?
You got me?
You want more people to read your article?
No.
Use SEMrush
Hear
SEO
me?
Writing Assistant to boost your article for search engines.
Hey, okay, so quickly, I'm editing my video on this right now, but I just had to say this.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. Guys got me?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
You hear-
what's going on. Here's my conjecture, okay, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. There's a few scenarios that have taken place here. One is that he definitely did something and took off, called his parents on the way home, and got a hold of a lawyer before he got home. 10 days went by before they even had an opportunity to speak to him, okay? 2, she left, and then he just left because they were obviously fighting. If you look at the reports and everything's going, they were fighting a lot. They both had a mental illness, and they were both not taking their medications. That's what the articles are saying. We don't know we know hers is OCD. We don't know what his is. Okay, so all that. And the other scenario is that she got lost or hurt while they were doing something, or she got hurt while they were hiking or something and maybe died. And he knew that this altercation happened before that. And so he called his parents, and his parents said, it doesn't matter if you're innocent. You are now guilty. We're getting a lawyer, come home right now.
Yeah. That's possible. But I mean, there's no way, I can't imagine in any scenario that somebody who loves his fiance would, I mean, you're married, right? Can you imagine something happening to your wife and not explaining to her parents and to her family what happened to her?
Something
Not
tells
giving
me
them closure?
as you watch the interview with Brian, watch how he reacts. He sounds like someone that likely, how do I say this nicely? To me, my gut tells me that he's a pushover. Likely his parents are that he would like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, you could say it. He's a pussy. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, exactly. So what he did was he likely called his parents first, and his parents are just like, it doesn't matter what happened, if she got in an accident, whatever the case may be, you are now guilty, because they know that they had that altercation with the police, right? And so if she dies at the park, he's still, even if it's an accident, they might say he might have pushed her off the cliff or whatever the case may be. The most likely scenario at this case is because of what happened is he probably did something and called his dad on the way home and said, maybe it was an accident, whatever the case may be, but his dad and his parents were saying, shut your mouth, come home, talk to the lawyer on your way home, and say nothing. And now he's going to live like a hermit for the rest of his life, because everybody's going to break this down forever, because someone's going to say something, or someone knows something, and if she's hurt or lost or whatever the case may be. The other scenario is that she left, and then he left, and then didn't hear from her for a few days, and then all of a sudden his parents are like, well, that looks super guilty too, so shut your mouth.
Yeah. The thing is in the grand scheme of things, in the broad picture of it all, right? And talking about cases like this all the time, I'm seeing somebody who's clearly guilty of something. You know, there's an argument to be made. If you have an attorney and you actually didn't commit a crime, then your attorney would not just tell you, hey, shut up. Mm-hmm. You know, your attorney would say, okay, well, we'll deal with this situation, and you know, and I can plead down whatever if that's the case, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see a lawyer being like, just shut up and don't say a word unless he actually did something.
Exactly.
Unless it's something that he could be convicted of.
If a lawyer knows that you did the crime,
for it.
If a lawyer knows that you, let's say, murdered somebody, I know there's attorney-client privilege, but is a lawyer not responsible to say, like, if the lawyer knows, are they not responsible for reporting that?
No, not to my knowledge. I don't think so. Yeah. It's not a doctor thing. Like, doctors have to report if there's been a crime committed. You know, it's like a psychiatrist, psychologist, a medical doctor. They have to do that. But a lawyer doesn't. A lawyer could just be like, shut up.
Okay, so the likely scenario is that again, we said it's, what is it, 488,000 acres, 500 or 458 square miles. This place is massive. It's like the size of a province or a state. It's humongous. Maybe the lawyer's like, are we going to find her? And he might have said no. And then he said, shut your mouth, because if that's the case and she's never found and he shuts his mouth, nothing happens from this point forward. Nothing. Zero. He doesn't have to say a word to anybody ever, because there's no crime to investigate.
Right. And every other time, Erica's making a point that I've been making as well. Every other time where there's a case like this, when a lawyer is speaking up for their client, they're always publicly going, my client is totally innocent. My client hasn't done anything wrong. He's just choosing not to speak. But I assure you that my client is innocent of any type of crime that has taken place. But he has not done this. This attorney is just going, under my advice, my client is choosing to stay quiet. He's not showing any reassurance, or not making the opportunity to make a public statement saying, no, she's fine, but that's all I can say. He's not doing anything of the sort. So that's what's making me feel like.
Because if he were to say that, if he were to say he's innocent and he knows he's not allowed to say that. That's a lie. Isn't it like that's punishable by law? Isn't it? Like,
no. I mean, you look at Casey Anthony. I mean, is it unethical? But that's why people hate lawyers. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Casey Anthony. Jose Baez had to know that she was guilty. And everybody, the whole world knows that Casey Anthony's guilty of murdering little Kaylee. Everybody knows. I mean, she was found. Her remains found just like a block away from the house. She had they found duct tape residue on Kaylee's skull. I don't even like talking about it, but there's this, but yet, all you have to do. This is the thing: when you're a defense attorney, your job is simply to create doubt, because you have a 12 juror system. You have to be convicted by 12 jurors, 12 of your own peers, right? So, and they all have to come to a conclusion unanimously.
Yeah.
Now, if you get one juror, then you have a hung jury. One juror that's like, I don't think he did it. That's all it takes. And so a defense attorney's job is simply to create doubt in one juror, not all 12, one.
Yeah.
So this is what we're seeing, the building blocks towards this right now, is what we're seeing.
Yes, but here's another issue. This is going back to the humanity part of this, and that, I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't matter the humanity part of this, because their parents are trying to protect him from being, arrested and put in prison for the rest of his life. It does, again, they are doing what a lawyer would tell them to do, is shut their mouth. But you're right, there's a humanity side of this, that this guy who apparently loved this girl knows, even if, imagine that, let's just say, for argument's sake, that they had an argument and they just went their separate ways because they were pissed, right? That's a likely scenario for people who are arguing, who live in a tiny van. Imagine living in a tiny van with anybody. No thanks, right? So imagine that's the scenario.
I could do it.
Imagine that's it. Even regardless of that, he knows that last location. And if she went missing from that circle, they have a search radius to start from. Right now, all they know is that they were at the park, and that park is massive. And there's no way to even know where to begin. Can't start at the beginning, can't start in the middle. What's to say they didn't go to all the end? What's to say they didn't hike up a mountain? They don't know.
No, and keep in mind, he drove from there to where he lives in Florida is 2,400 miles.
Yeah.
That's 2,400 miles of possibilities of what could have happened and where she could be.
And that's,
you know what I'm saying?
So are you saying
that's a scary thought?
So you're saying that she might not be at the park, but they could be anywhere between the park and 2,400 miles to Florida.
Yep.
Anywhere.
Yep.
And so and that's where, like, I get irritated too about this case too, is like when you think about it, because not only is that kid a douchebag, but also the parents. Like, even from a parent standpoint, look, I'm a parent, and if my kid did some shady stuff like that, no matter what it is, no matter how much love I have for her, I'd be like, look, you have to come clean for not only for yourself to get, whatever redemption or whatever forgiveness, you have to come clean. And then you also have to do that for the parents' sake too, because what is it? The first 48 hours are the most important. Even if he didn't do anything, and he left her and then she went missing, those first 48 hours are crucial. And what he's done now, even if he's not guilty of killing her per se, even if he didn't kill her, now you've just pulled an absolute dick move to where you took away those first 40 hours, which are so important, which he could drop down the radius to try to help figure where the hell she's at, and he's completely taken that away. So that's on the parents and that's on the freaking kid. I don't care what anybody else says. That's on both of them, because if I was the parent to this kid coming home to the like that, there ain't no way in hell I'm going to sit here and vouch and be like, oh,
and they're gonna feel the effects of what they've done, because it's on. They're the ones who are saying all this. They're gonna be the ones racial, and they deserve it, because again, like you said, even if he's innocent, he didn't do anything. He's the only one who knows something, and it's been what 12. Okay, so they're saying August 27th is the last time the mom thinks that they spoke, or even earlier, depending on what mom thinks it might not have even been her.
An exchange on the 30th, but she doesn't believe that it was her.
Yeah. So let's say
so why is he texting? Why is he texting with her phone, pretending to be her if he hadn't done anything wrong?
Exactly. And there's 17 days between the time that the last spoken thing, and we likely think it's him, because if he had her phone, that's all they have to do at this point, I think, is find her phone. That's it.
Yeah. And I don't know if they have. I don't know if he has her phone, but based on like her family believes that he has her phone, based on what I just told you, and there was the press conference that I played at the beginning of this, which I don't think you caught, but the press conference.
I saw it.
Okay. The chief of police makes an allusion that they're in contact. They know where Brian is, and they're in contact with them in order to recover certain devices, and that they've made arrangements for that. So I'm hoping anyway that her phone is one of those things. But why would he turn that over? You know what I mean? Why would he?
It might not be a phone though, but hear this out, because I watched a video of her in the tent.
Could be an iPad, yeah.
She's got a MacBook, and you can text from a MacBook. You can text from an iPad. So even if he doesn't have her phone, he could have been texting from that computer. And if that's the case, they'll know it. They can.
And they're engaged supposedly, right? So it's possible that he has her login information.
He absolutely does.
So right. So he could absolutely use any Apple device and just log in under her Apple ID. And
what do the parents think is going to happen in the world of social media? You got Brock. Look at Brock Turner. Remember Brock Turner? The dad's like, why is he going to spend 20 years in jail for 20 minutes of pleasure or whatever? The guy both parents need to fall down a well. And
I'm going to drag this douchebag for as long as I can, because he's being a douchebag. There's no other way about it. Guilty or innocent, I don't care. But what you're putting this family through, is not okay. It's not even remotely understandable.
He won't be able to live. He won't be able to come out into the public until he won't. People are going to be scouring that park and looking for her. And again, you guys might be right, and I didn't even actually think of that. Is that there's a 24-hour or like a drive in that period that anything could have happened
anywhere.
And oh my God, it's such a crazy thing to think about. That's so scary.
Yeah, it's right. I mean, we're not dealing with a Letitia Stock here. You know, we're not dealing with somebody who is just so obvious that they're just going to hang themselves with everything that they say. We're talking about somebody who is doing exactly when I talk about these cases where I'm like, dude, why would you do that? Lawyer up, doing exactly what I make fun of other perpetrators for not doing. He's doing, and now I'm sitting here going, what a shitbag for doing that. You know what I mean? Now I get lawyering up. That's fine. But if you did something, you've got to come clean. You've got to give this family some answers, something. They have no idea where their child is. Now, and then you've got the dad. What are your thoughts on this father? On Gabby's dad?
I saw him out there sweeping his driveway or something. First of all, if I'm in this scenario, I'm like, bye, we're leaving. I'm going somewhere safe. I'm gone. They're sitting there parked at their house.
Oh, you're talking about Brian's dad. Yeah, Brian's dad.
Oh, you're talking about the stepdad and the other dad of Gabby.
I'm talking about Gabby's dad.
Oh, yeah. If I talk about this in my video tomorrow, I'm just editing it now. I had to come on and talk. If it's me, if it's my daughter, sorry, dude, I'm coming to your door.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. First of all, I don't care. I'm coming to your door.
But this guy gives me the vibe that every instinct is telling him to do that, and there's one instinct that's telling him not to. Just because he doesn't want to end up in prison himself. So he's this guy is he's doing everything that a father can as far as narrating the public You know what I mean? As far as navigating the public, he's saying, see that girl right there, that picture, that's the focus. That's it. I don't want to hear about anything else. I don't want to talk about anything else. Find her.
They're
That's
getting
all I
desperate though,
care.
and in the article they even said it. They said, "Look, we're getting angry now, and that's good." They know more about Brian than anybody else does. Well, Brian's parents do, but they know. I researched. He's a ghost. I don't know anything about Brian. He deleted everything. From what we know, there's nothing.
That's what an
out
innocent person does, right? You know, I mean,
He's a ghost.
like,
and so her parents now have the opportunity. And anybody out there who's watching this or watching any of these videos, reach out to one of us creators. If you know Brian, went to school with Brian, went to college with Brian, know him personally, hate him, whatever the case may be, reach out to a creator and reach out to the police. Nobody knows this guy. This is a mystery, and now he's lawyered up, shutting his mouth. It couldn't be more airtight for him because nobody knows anything, and now you know all the papers and all.
And this is the opposite. This is the opposite of the Summer Wells situation where people are just throwing accusations at the parents when they don't know anything. But right now, we're like, there's no way this dude doesn't know what's going on. There's no way this dude doesn't know where his so-called fiance is. There's no way he doesn't know what happened to her. We all know this. So I have no reservations whatsoever about dragging this asshole online as much as I can. And I think it's almost a responsibility of YouTube creators to drag this asshole online. All of you guys that would accuse somebody before you knew anything before and made excuses about speculating and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the time where it's justified. This is the time where you get to do that. And I encourage every creator to do it.
Because regardless of his innocence, he knows something and is not saying anything. That's it. It doesn't matter. He knows where she is or last known position, whatever, and he's refusing to give anybody anything.
He is currently torturing her family.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other way to put that.
Okay, I got to get back to my editing. I just wanted to come on and say that, and it's amazing. Let's keep doing these. I mean, everywhere, talking about this until there's so much social pressure that people are picketing and whatever. Again, that is going to be a zoo outside his house for the next weekend. I like protest. You got to put social pressure on this kid to come forward because those parents. If that's my daughter, I'm finding this kid. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Like I want to put my hand around his throat. I feel like I could get it all around his whole neck. Like, you know.
I respect that dad for doing what he needs to do to get this forefront. But if he goes there now, you know, it could end badly, could end up in jail, and it's just going to convolute the case. But I get it. Yeah. But my instinct is to be like, you know where my daughter is. I'm going to get it out of you.
No, and I'm sure that that's what he wants to do. I'm getting no indication that that's not what's torturing him right now. Is that that's exactly what he wants to do. But but kudos to him, man, for just using the media properly, staying focused, staying level-headed. You can tell he's angry, but he's staying totally rational, and he's going, find my daughter, and he's allowing that energy to be focused on
finding her
productivity, you know, as opposed to so I right now that guy's my personal hero right now.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna get back to editing. I'm gonna show this video tomorrow, but let's keep talking about it, guys. Thank you for having me on.
All right, man, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So that was really refreshing to me because, you know, if we have all these creators that are jumping on and wanting to do this, you know, we could see some. I mean, that's what we need right now. If this guy's just shutting down, he's lawyering up and shutting down. Well, then we could just totally turn the screws on him via social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Somebody's got to give in your. I'm glad he said what he said because it's true. Like, why not apply the pressure until someone speaks for somebody knows something about him and he's trying to ghost all of his info and just become like he's a ghost. Somebody's out there that knows something about him. So if somebody is, hell, I'm sure any creator would love the opportunity to just with this person just to be like, you know, let's expose, like, you know, whatever is hiding behind the curtains. You know, something's got to be something. You can't tell me YouTube is so good at digging out, digging.
Yeah, this guy
out.
deserves for every skeleton in his closet to come out. He deserves it because of what he's putting this family through. And all he has to do is just cooperate with her family. You know, that's all he has to do. That's all we're asking him to do.
Usually I'm such a person that's just like, look, like, we can't say one way or the other what's going on. I'm always that person. Like, you've always seen me the person to be like, we don't technically know what's going on. You know, it could be either way. It's the same thing with the summer. I'm like, I don't know if the parents were involved or if they were not. Like, I can't, you know, responsibly sit here. But this case is, in this scenario, is different. This guy,
this is nothing like I've ever talked about in true crime. It's nothing.
Him, and it's his freaking parents. So, like, right now, I'm irritated at both of them. I'm irritated at the freaking parents, and I'm irritated at freaking him, and justifiably so, because, like, I go back to what I was saying. It's the first 40 out of the. Even if he didn't do something to her, he could have helped in help locating her. So
he should be the knight in shining armor. He should be on the front lines in finding her, trying to humble himself to her father, saying, I'm going to do everything to find her because I love her. And I'm going to earn your respect by doing so. This is what any man who loves his lady, who has loving parents, would do.
Yeah, they're all special, man. That's all I can say. Is just they're all special. I better get heading out, man, because I got my wife, I got my kids, and I gotta do my day thing, man. I gotta go do my day job tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you know, and I'm sure you're lethargic from all the nachos too. So.
Oh man, they made me. I am ready.
Dude, oh my God. Look, and black is supposed to slim. Dude, I win. I'm already winning.
Oh, but you did.
I just did. I did. I did.
Right now, you just white.
I did. Joe, I love how your old lady threw you under the bus. Totally. She blasted you in my chat. It was beautiful.
We're gonna have a discussion about this when I go upstairs. I'm gonna make her an offer she can't refuse.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure she can take it.
Oh yeah, she could take it, man. She's
look at her profile pic, man. I was scared of her in her profile pic. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah. Latin women, you don't. Latin, the Latin women, man. That's why I always end up with them. They keep me in check. But sometimes they're really mean. But
are you game for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is when you're doing the spirit box thing, right?
Yeah. You
didn't ask me before, but if you're asking me now, yeah, I'm down.
I'm asking you. You got to be on, man. We're part of this. We're involved.
Of course.
Now, I really hope, like I always say, man, I hope that's not the case. I hope that she's alive. I really hope. And I hope that it's dead silent and we hear absolutely nothing. I really hope we hear nothing.
No, yeah, same here. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, it may be because you're in Colorado and you know, I mean, but in our experience, it hasn't made a difference. We got a lot of stuff, detailed stuff from Summer Wells. But yeah. This case has gotten everyone's attention now. And I'm actually really looking forward to Annie being 100% after having her baby, and then jumping on this and seeing what her contribution to this is going to be, because she's because I'm a mod for her and we're friends. I think about her and how she's looking at this case, and I'm just like, oh man, she's gonna wreck this dude. Like, she is absolutely gonna unleash hell on Brian Laundry. And I don't care if you say laundry, I'm gonna say laundry. Laundry is refreshing. Laundry is clean clothing.
I think it's pronounced labia, vagina. I think
exactly. This dude, I mean, yeah, like he totally, yeah, I think if we're psychologically breaking the dude down, I think he's just angry at the world. He's short and tiny. He's got a little Napoleon complex. He's balding in his early 20s and he's mad at the world for it. And so he takes it out on his sweet, loving girlfriend. And that's not okay.
Failure to launch. That's exactly what it reminds me of. A kid that's overgrown man child that his mommy and daddy bail him out of everything. So he's had failure to launch. He doesn't know how to be his own man. He doesn't know how to be himself, but a little boy. That's exactly.
I mean, dude, yeah. Can you imagine that dude in prison? So I kind of get, you know, if I'm his parents, I'm like, dude, this kid, he's gonna get killed in prison. You know, like day one, he's gonna get shanked. You know what I mean? So I get trying to protect him in that sense, but I don't get not having the empathy for the for Gabby's family. So yeah, it just that's where I'm at right now is what he's just blatantly in the whole world's face is doing is putting this family through hell, and that is not okay with me.
Nope,
that's not okay with me.
Love him so much that we just want to go give him a little blanket party.
Exactly. Dude, I really appreciate you joining me tonight, man. Like and what a treat to have Josh join at the last minute like that too. So yeah, this live stream definitely turned out great. So I really enjoyed it. Because it's funny. My anger towards this guy is my anger towards him because of his behavior is overpowering my worry for her, which never happens because based on his behavior, unfortunately, I feel like, you know, there's just not a lot of hope to have about her coming home safely. And I hate that. I hate that because I'm never that guy that jumps to that conclusion. But his behavior, and every time we try to analyze it and try to like play devil's advocate as to why he may be doing what he's doing, never leads to a place of maybe she's okay and this is the situation. It's always you wouldn't do this unless you did something to her and you're worried about going to prison for the rest of your life. You know, so that's where I'm at right now. So since that's the reality, I'm just gonna trash this piece of shit as much as I possibly can, because he sucks. But dude, I love you, man, and
you too, brother.
And I look forward to destroying you because I'm already doing it. So anyway,
I had vegan nachos. My wife didn't tell you guys that, but it was
they were vegan. They were vegan nachos, right? That means that they were all carbs and no protein. Good to know. Yeah, all carbs, no protein.
All right, brother. See you guys tomorrow.
All right,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
Later.
He had vegan nachos. Vegan nachos. Nachos that are all carbs, no protein. Good. This is going to be so easy. This is to me the easiest 20 pounds I ever lost in my life. Yeah, exactly. Adam Roof, you're right. Many times to stop at a cop station to report something. Sure, why not? Right. Look at this. No love, dude. No love. And I love Cherry K. I'm hurt. Anyways, guys, that's it. I'm calling it. We're done. I love you guys. and we will do this again very, very soon, my friends.